Hi guys, I'm Terry Easton, founder of Atlanta Acne Specialist and the creator of the Virtual Clear Skin program. I'm a licensed esthetician and an acne specialist, and I wanted to do kind of a series of videos about diet and the different foods you should avoid if you're acne prone. There aren't that many of them, but it's kind of nice to break them down a little bit and talk about each one separately. So I'm not going to do a series of them back to back to back, but I will, kind of do them sporadically through all these videos. So today I wanted to talk about dairy, which is probably a lot of you have done research and found out that dairy does actually have a connection with acne, and I think a lot of people are maybe in denial and hope that it isn't really true, because I love cheese and ice cream, and I'm not really a milk drinker, but I know many of you are, and that includes, cream in your coffee, and if you have a Starbucks habit, lots of different things like that. So the main thing is that dairy causes inflammation in the body. I usually see it in one of two forms, or sometimes it's a little bit of both. I either see lots of cystic type breakouts, lots of inflammation, red, angry pimples in the skin, or lots of little itty bitty ones that almost make the skin look rashy. And those are all non-inflamed, kind of under the skin, where it makes your skin feel sandpapery. So those are the main things that I see on the skin, but it can show up in a wide variety of ways for different people. And for some people, it's not as much of a trigger, but we see it enough that I just try to, especially during the clearing process when people are working with me, I really try to keep them away from dairy as much as possible during that process, and then they can add back in once they're clear, little bits of dairy at a time, and see if that happens to be a trigger for them. So the main reason that we have you stay away from dairy is that cows eat a high iodine diet, and they also lick a salt lick, which is again going to be iodized salt, so more iodides. The other thing about dairy is, even if you are drinking the organic, hormone-free, free-range type of milk, that milk is coming from a lactating female, and you're going to get all those hormones that you just don't need as an acne-prone person. If you Googled, you could probably find a lot of information on how icky the dairy industry is, which I was really shocked about and really disappointed in, because like I said, I love cheese, and I have to have my creamer in my coffee. I don't drink milk, and I don't have much milk at all on a daily basis, but dairy, cheese is probably my biggest weakness. Like I said, it's just different for every person. So the other aspect of it is whey as well. Whey is used in cheese, and there's like whey protein for protein powders, shakes, and bars. So all of that is going to be too high in iodine, and all the foods that we have you avoid are because they're too high in iodine. And what happens is that iodine isn't a problem, and we need iodine in our diet to have a healthy thyroid, but we only need about 1/4 of a teaspoon a day. So if you're having a lot of dairy or even processed foods, you're going to get plenty of iodine. And what it does is it doesn't actually clog the pores. We talked about pore clogging ingredients, which is in a previous video, and makeups and different things like that will actually clog the pores. Dairy doesn't clog the pores, but when it's excreted through the pores, through sweat, and because our skin is our largest organ, we're kind of detoxing and excreting things. It actually causes friction inside the pore, and that friction and kind of inflammation creates more oil and more dead skin cells to shed. And like I spoke about in a previous video also, if you are acne prone, your oil and your skin cells are stickier than a normal skin person. So when you have already that buildup of too many dead skin cells, and then you're eating foods that will aggravate or trigger more dead skin and more oil, then you're just compounding the problem. So that's the main reason that we have you stay away from dairy. Like I said, this is dairy in all forms: milk, cheese, yogurt, and ice cream. And a lot of times people will say, oh, well, I don't really drink milk, but they have cold cereal in the morning, and that's milk. Or like I said, I talked about having a Starbucks habit. They'll order a latte and not realize that there's probably half a cup or more of milk in that coffee drink, or even if it's a macchiato or something, there's going to be dairy in there. And although the cool thing about Starbucks is that they do offer coconut milk as an alternative now, so you can still go and get that and just ask for the coconut milk instead. So that'll be a lot better for your skin. Let's see. The other thing about dairy is that it increases a hormone which acts like insulin, and that triggers, I believe it's IGF-1, and that triggers breakouts. So we believe that there's an insulin connection with acne. I honestly have not delved a whole lot into research about that, but we do believe there's an insulin connection. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in future videos. Let's see, I took notes, so I'm just making sure I covered everything. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, if you have ice cream often, I would recommend switching to like a sorbet, or you can have a popsicle where you're still getting that sweet and cold type of sensation, if that happens to be kind of what you're looking for in a dessert, but you're not getting the dairy in there. Also with yogurt, that's another big one for people. There are several coconut milk yogurts. I know Kite Hill is a brand that's fairly popular, and they're all the different coconut yogurts do have fruit in them, so they're flavored just like regular ones, but they're made with coconut milk instead of cow milk. So I think really, I believe that humans are the only species that drink another animal's milk, and it's meant to grow a baby cow into a 400 or 600 pound calf. It's meant to make a calf into a 400 or 600 pound cow. So it's got all these extra hormones and different factors in there that are supposed to make them grow big. And we as humans don't need that. I think we've been, in my personal opinion, I think we've been duped by the government, and not to be political at all, but I'm assuming that the dairy industry was suffering many years ago, and so we learned in school that milk is healthy for you, and the whole pyramid and everything, and I think that's slightly skewed. So if you are suffering from acne, if you remove dairy from your diet, you might see a mild increase in clearer skin, or you might see a decrease in breakouts. And all of these things that I talk about with acne are going to improve the skin. There are certain things you can do, like changing your laundry detergent, removing these foods from your diet, looking at different makeups or the skincare that you're using, and remove those pore clogging ingredients. And all of those might help improve your skin. But if you're not using the right skincare for your skin and acne type, then I think your results are going to be fairly limited. So all the things that we teach here are kind of all-encompassing. We talk about diet, lifestyle, makeup, hair care, and the right skincare for your product, for your skin and acne type. So I hope that this really helps everybody, and if you have any questions, you can post them below. You can subscribe to our channel as well, and we'll continue to put out videos going forward weekly. So if you have any questions, let us know. We look forward to serving you soon. Thanks.